welcome everybody. We're just preparing our live stream for YouTube. There will be a very, very short bit of feedback here in a few seconds as we get that rolling. And just a few seconds to go. Everybody. Hello, everyone on YouTube. There we go. Live everywhere. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to our audience. I see you guys are filling in the room. Thank you so much for being here. We are just about to get started with the Technology Source virtual roundtable, coming at you live with new speakers, new thought leadership on a regular basis. So thank you to those who are returning. Thank you to, I see a lot of our wonderful partners and some new folks that I haven't seen. Welcome today. So thank you so much for joining us. We are here today with Thryv, and we are going to talk to Thryv today about business platforms for organizations out there looking for what is a business platform? When do you need such a thing? When in your cycle of owning a business or working in your organization should you start looking for stuff like this? So we're going to talk about that today. We also have a special guest who I'll introduce very shortly. And so I'm excited to have her on today. And again, you're in the Technology Source virtual roundtable. So one thing I wanted to just start off with is I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sonya Z Meline. I'm the Chief Information Officer for Technology Source, and excited to be here today with our organization Thryv, who's going to be sharing a little bit about business platforms. And then we have a drawing. So during this conversation here, if you have a good question that's just burning in your mind, please share it with us. That's why this is a round table. We don't want to sit here and just talk to each other. We want your voice to be a part of this conversation. So please join us if you have questions, ideas, comments, anything like that. I see a few customers of Thryv on here today, so that's kind of exciting. I see some returning guests who come again and again, so thank you so much. It means a lot, and I really commend you for taking a moment out of your busy workday to just get educated, to learn what's out there, and to ask good questions and to learn. So thank you so much. All right, so everyone understands, you ask a question, I put your name into the bowl, there's nobody in there yet, so you have a really good chance of winning. The prizes today, we have two awesome $50 gift cards, so thank you to Laura and Thryv for that. So I will first start by introducing Laura. Laura started her career in marketing and advertising in 2010. She is a member of the Alliance of Channel Women, awesome organization. I'm a mentor for that organization. She is a member of the Digital Marketing Advisory Council for the California State University in Chico. Her parents are also small business owners. Woohoo! So she grew up around small businesses and has made a career about helping business owners be successful. And she works with us as a national sales manager here at Technology Source. So Technology Source, we have been around for over 20 years, serving clients in all over the world, especially in the United States. We have over 3,500 happy customers and over 250 advisors around the United States that serve our clients. So our advisors have disciplines in various areas, but all of them work together to help clients who are looking to make changes, to grow, to stabilize their organizations with the use of technology. So I want to now introduce, and do you want to say hi, Laura, and tell us where you're where you're at today?
Hello, I am in Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, beautiful. I'll be passing through there next week for the cybersecurity summit. So that sounds awesome. Good. Maybe I'll get to see you. Okay, and then our special guest, Miss Tracey Casey-Arnold. Where are you calling in from today, Tracey?
Well, I am a newbie where I'm calling from. I just moved here to Austin, Texas, but born and raised in San Antonio. Goes first. Just had to say that real quick.
Yeah, awesome. I grew up right near there. I used to go to the Alamo and have fun there in Texas. So yeah, awesome. Well, so Tracey is the owner of WIT, Whatever It Takes Consulting, founded in 1991 in San Antonio and established in the corporate industry of Houston, Texas, in 96, when Tracey was a single mom who wanted to make a difference in the lives of others, including her own. WIT's consulting mission was to provide a network of educators and professionals who could be proactive and bring that message to life and to live life to your full potential. Tracey says that she believes each person holds the key to the ability to live a life to their full potential and wants everyone to be a superhero. Right. So one of the things also just to mention is that Stacey was awarded the top business coach and consulting firm by the state of Texas from the Women's Chamber of Commerce of Texas and was honored and recognized as one of the top Businesswomen of the Year. She was also recently awarded a seat and not only president and bestowed the ownership of Women in Business Association in 2023, so just recently, which was then renamed She Is Women Owned. So we also, have a lot more on your bio because you just are so amazing. But the last thing I want to mention is that WIT, Whatever It Takes Consulting, reformed as Tracey Casey-Arnold LLC and became the parent company of the Superhero University, the first ever total life university. You serve Fortune 500 companies at this university, United States Army, government organizations, small businesses through training, coaching, life planning, business entrepreneurship, business development, and providing financial and investment consulting and personal leadership development, and mentored millions globally in over 79 countries. What a bio. Oh my gosh. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Tracey.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm excited and honored to be here. I feel truly like a superhero suited up for an important mission today. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, let's dive right into this this topic. So platforms, what is a business platform? Maybe if you could kind of just fill us in to kind of get us on the right page here so everyone understands what a business platform is, kind of how it's changed over the years and where we're at today. If you want to kind of summarize that, I'm sure that's a big topic, but Laura, if you want to start us off, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so businesses have a lot to juggle. You have your scheduling, your estimates, your customer conversations, your profiles, payments, all of that. And oftentimes businesses are doing this from multiple different places. Maybe you have a CRM, you have a payment processor, you have someone who manages your social media. A business platform brings all of these into one place so that not only is it easier for the business owner to manage all of that, but now everything is streamlined, the image is consistent, and everything syncs up so that you can do what you do best, and that's run your business and not have to worry about logging into all these different places and keeping it consistent on your own. The platform does that for you.
And I'll add as well, just real quick, and I didn't know if you wanted me to jump in because I love what Laura said. It's also to me, because I want to, tell you, I love being able to find a platform that's been able to take when you grow and scale up. And now you go from just being like serving your backyard to now serving a state, to serving states, nations, and the world. You need something that can grow with you. A lot of times when we grow, we're having to look at other different programs, that now we can download, upload, and boy, that integration period is horrifying. So it's also about having a platform that you can grow within your business, but also one that can help you grow your business as well. And then when it comes to your employees or your staff, to be able to have that oversight or overwatch, I'm a big Green Arrows fan, overwatch, and being able to see everything that's going on. And at the same time, being able to see where there's support needed, or to be able to see everything analytics, so that you know what that next thing is that you need to focus on and what you need to do and in which way you need to do it. And so it's really something that's set up to start you where you are, even if you're at a brand new level, but that you can stick with and that grows because it grows. It's always looking for things to incorporate that are on the cutting edge as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a lot of experience, Tracey. I can understand why Laura does because she's the sales leader here at Thryv. What is your experience here with an organization like Thryv or a business platform?
Well, I'm kind of glad that you asked that because I want to come from really a perspective. We've been a corporation for 32 years. We're about to celebrate 33 years here in July. Started it when I was a single mom, as you heard the bio, the long bio, but that is where I started, negative $232 on a bank account. Well, here we are now, touching 79 countries. And I can tell you that, believe it or not, we did not have a true business all-in-one system. We didn't. We had multiple programs, multiple things we were using to execute communication, to be able to manage our business, to grow and market our business. And then here's the biggest one, to serve our business, because obviously there's products and services. And so I got introduced to Thryv, believe it or not, big corporation, by one of my clients, a retired colonel, because we have a huge contract with the military. And so he said, hey, I want you to be on a call with me. I know you're at that top tier, but I want someone who knows business. And he was on a introductory call, being introduced to Thryv. And as I'm sitting there looking out for him, making sure he's about to make a good investment, making sure this matches his platform, I'm realizing it's almost kind of when you show up to the party and you're just going with your friend and you realize the party was for you. And that's what I felt like, that, oh, wait a minute, hold up, that I am the sales rep privately on Zoom to say, hey, I think I need to actually talk with you. And so that's how I got connected with Thryv. And I'll be honest with you, us as a company, we didn't sign up first. I knew this is something that every single person that we had in our company, where they were at, we needed to do a call almost like this to get them introduced to Thryv, putting another option, to me, the best option, and I'm not getting paid for that. That's how I feel. In 32 years, I feel I can have an opinion and say it's somewhat of an expert opinion. And so with that, it really was getting all of our clients introduced to Thryv first. We served our clients first. So we had a huge transition of people now getting on demo calls, learning. But what we found, a lot of people didn't understand what a business system was. A lot of them didn't even understand the importance of having something that could help you do all those things I just spoke about. And a lot of them were still, and I joke with this because I still have some of my people that are like that, manual, where, it's a manual system. It's one of those old planners, or they're using text or email, trying to find emails. And so we had to go through a huge education period that we had to implement a whole entire now curriculum to teach our clients about business, so that now as we're introducing Thryv, they understand why Thryv, so that you're not selling. And so it was after that whole process that we then signed up, believe it or not, because now we used it, we knew it, and now we could get acclimated. So that is why, just because I say this without any payment here, it is the best that I have found. It is easy. It is simple. It takes you from no business to business. It speaks your language, where a lot of CRMs or programs out there are specific to your trade. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry, such a superhero. That does, because you need something to speak your language and do business the way you want to do business. So that's how I got introduced to Thryv, and just got sold out that for somebody with my reputation, and I'm going to sound kind of arrogant, I'm not endorsing anything after we've got an impeccable reputation, that I really did my due diligence. I mean, I don't know if people understand who Thryv is. They are the original Yellow Pages and Business Page. They are a $13+ billion company. They're the ones who started when I started. They were the people that I used to build my business. So immediately I felt safe in my decision, because they were the ones who knew it way before we even got to software. And so I just jumped in, and this is kind of where I'm at. And I'm going to tell you, I love it. And as all of my Salesforce team, they're on calls as business consultants, because that's what we do. I'm getting pinged all the time. Oh my God, I love this Thryv. Hey, did you know Thryv could do this? And then you got to think outside the box, because Thryv can do anything. Sometimes you just got to think about how you do business and get Thryv to work for you. I know that was more than what you were looking for, but I really felt like I could speak from a perspective from a lot of people that are on today that are like, well, why Thryv? Why is that? So I'll pass it back to you. I'm sorry.
No, that was really good. I've had similar experiences myself. Small business owner. My parents, just like yours, Laura, were small business owners. They owned a chain of Subway sandwich shops, and a bar and a restaurant and an optical and all these, small businesses. And I just remember as a kid watching them struggle with all of the things that I see Thryv doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish they had something like this back then, you know, and even for myself, knowing that this is out there as a small business owner, from my family, from my husband's business, we absolutely endorse Thryv as well, just on a personal level, and have had great success. And we've only just scratched the surface, like you were saying, Tracey. There's so many things it can do, and it's so cool to see all those different things. So, well, we want to hear more about what Thryv can do, but let's just keep going on this topic of, unless, did you have anything else to say, Laura, about that?
No, I mean, okay, Tracey,
I know, drop the mic. All right.
I can't follow up that. Yeah. Next question.
So my next question is, how do businesses usually end up coming to the place where they're like, I think we need a small business platform, some sort of software to help us? You know, maybe they're doing things, like you said, manually. Maybe they're using 3 or 4 different disparate systems. Like, when do they usually come to you, Laura? How do you find them? And we have some questions for the audience. Thank you so much. I just noticed all those. I'll start bringing those into the conversation. Okay. Good job.
Yeah, well, I'll first say Tracey's experience is not unusual. We get a lot of referrals. We have a lot of people who are like, you know, I introduced this to a friend of mine because, you know, this is, they know how complicated it is to run a business. Often, it depends on the industry, it depends on the business and what they're going through, but there comes a point where you're like, I can't manage this. This is stressful, or I'm not getting enough customers, and like, I need to bring in more revenue. Like, our expenses are too high. I need more customers. Or especially now, social media, your brand, your image is so important. And it once it's tarnished, I mean, we have a lot of opinionated people out there. If you're not staying on top of your reviews, that can really damage your business. So that's a common one too. Businesses will come to me and say, I have great customers. Unfortunately, only 5 of them write good reviews, but everyone with a negative experience, all 3 of them wrote this online. What do I do now? You can't take it down, right? You have to manage it. So everything always comes back to, well, you want customers, you have to manage them. You want people to schedule with you, you have to manage that. You have people who have unpaid bills, you have to manage that. So when they get to the point where it's like, I don't know what to do, or I need to change what I'm doing right now because it's not working for me anymore, the world is changing, that's when they come to me, when they need to adapt and adjust. And that's what the platform's really good at.
Yeah, Tracey?
I'm going to tell you, when you realize that your growth maybe isn't what it used to be, or that you can no longer grab a new market, or you're losing your market, you know, to other things, that here you've got the best service, best product, but something else is taking your market, or you're not growing at the rate that you were. That's when you realize that, okay, we need to take a look at how we're doing business, the way in which we are facilitating business, communicating. We got to take a look at our presence as well. You know, what's out there. You know, that's one of the biggest reasons why we went, you know, from WIT Consulting to now rebranding, is because that's one of the things that they told you, that a couple of years ago, you should have rebranded. Anyways, it's the fact of really kind of looking at the market, and our language needed to change. You know, the way in which we spoke to the customer, how we dealt with the customer needed to change, because time changes, and either you're changing with time or it's changing without you. And so you can't do business the same way you used to. Now, you can be the same company that you've been. That's why people, you know, decide to partner with you, but how you go about doing it has to change with what's being evolved in business, in communication, in marketing, and definitely when it comes to how people see you. You have to do that. And for a lot of us old fogies, that was something we needed to really, you know, face. And it doesn't mean old fogey, old age. It could just be that you're a company that's been around for a while. Whether you're small or you're big, you've done it a certain way for a long period of time. Well, this is the way we've done business here. Okay, well, keep being who you are. But if you're going to capitalize and get new business, grow your business, keep your business, you're going to have to look at the market, and you're going to have to make adjustments you don't want to make. But if we're in a business, why are we doing business? To have a business, to grow a business, to be able to make income, to serve people, retain, and build. So if you care about those things, and most people who start a business, even if there's another why here, that's why they're here. That's why they still stay in the fight. Well, then we've got to look at doing business differently, or you're going to get to a point like a muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. You'll start losing business for no reason. And it'll just be because you didn't make the shift or shifts that were being done in business in order to stay with it or to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. I see a lot of organizations kind of waiting till the last minute, till things get really bad. So, so that's another concern is when is the right time? You know, would an organization want to wait until they've been in business for a certain number of years? Or would an organization be better off starting out with a business platform? Let's take that question. Laura?
I mean, I tell employees this of mine, I'm like, the sooner you can get organized, the better. So when you're a business, if you start out with a business management platform, you are starting out with a plan. Even if you're just a one person small business, or you are up to an enterprise sized business, organization is key. And that is primarily what a business management software allows you to do. So I think the earlier, the better. And there are different tiers for all different budgets. So you have to put that part of it out the window and just say, hey, this is to, you know, start me out in an organized way so that the conversations are seamless, so that the interactions are seamless, and then everything is consistent in terms of your brand. So the earlier, the better.
What would you think, Tracey?
Well, I'm going to definitely say one of the biggest reasons, and I love this question. I was telling them behind the scenes before we came live, this is my question right here. I'm so passionate because I've literally have had to educate some bigwigs, big businesses about this. And now they get it, coming all the way down to a brand new mom and pop business, why this is important. When you are starting your business, one of the biggest things you need to know is that you've got to get business, right? We know at some point we got to have patrons and clients. We got to make money. Well, if you ever looked at some of the biggest corporations out there, let's just take drive-throughs like Starbucks, Chick-fil-A's, McDonald's. We know the gurus. You ever watch what they do before they open up a new location? They go into a market, and number one, they go clear out a space so that everybody watches. They go immediately do what? They put up a sign, McDonald's coming, okay, Chick-fil-A coming. And then, even though you can't see it, they shift their marketing dollars to anything in that zip code that would be going to that McDonald's or that Starbucks, okay, or that Chick-fil-A, and they go hard in marketing because they want to make sure to put their business owners in to be successful. They want to saturate the market first and start attaching to their market now versus you open up a building. Now you got all this debt. Now you're trying to go grab your market. They know that while you're setting up all your systems, while you're getting all that in play, that you need to be marketing. You need to let people know who you are, what you're about, that you're coming. You need to be saturating your zip codes, or the area. You need to be marketing so that when you do open a building, when there is all this debt and expenses, guess what happens? You ever see a Chick-fil-A that now opens day one? It's a freaking line all the way down because they didn't wait. And this is something in the business industry that was so taught wrong before that needs to be undone. No, you start now, because it's not just about your system, because people think, well, I don't have any clients yet. Why would I make that expense? Well, again, if you're just looking at this as a way of communicating with your clients, you missed what a whole platform is supposed to be about, which means maybe you're not in the right platform. Just going to say that direct, because I'm pretty direct. It may be that you're missing a platform that can do it all, a one-stop business solution to where it's not only about getting your Googles listed, Google My Profile, getting you up there, because man, I've had clients that just go get that and they're getting business. Okay, looking at your website and making sure it needs to communicate, it can grab traffic so that you can read it. All those things that you do, it is important that you start your website, your social media, your Instagram, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, all of those things now. And you start putting dollars or you start marketing in that because you want people to know you're coming, because it's called brand recognition before it ever is customer service. Okay, you need people to know you're coming so that when you say, okay, let's start, you're not having to stress and worry about where your next customer. You got people already. I'm so excited. You could do giveaways already. You could do surveys already. You get engagement. You could have literally your whole page filled out before you open up your location. And now what kind of success do you think you're going to have? Well, you won't be in debt, I promise you. You won't be upside down like most business owners. You would have built your market first before you open. And that's what we have to do. So whether you're in business right now and you're realizing, man, this is the call I needed to be on, you could start right now. Take that same pretense and go do that for the next 6 months and watch how your business will change from where you are. So that's kind of what I want to share. Sorry, passionate about that one.
No, that's huge. And just as a reminder, because I see about like 5 people who just got here, we have a giveaway from Laura and Thryv. If you ask a good question and we use it today, you're going to get access to one of those $50 gift cards. And during the end, if we do pull your name out of the drawing. And also, even more importantly, we have Tracey on today, Casey-Arnold. Tracey, I'm sorry. Let me say the full name, Tracey Casey-Arnold.
Just call me TA.
Okay.
Yeah, so people call me.
TA, and so she has mentored millions globally in over 79 countries. So if you're wondering, like, who is this powerhouse person here that's giving us this like refreshing breath of fresh air? That's who's here with us today, as well as Laura, a business leader with Thryv. So next question I have for you, ladies, is about an organization's who is, they have compliance requirements. And what are those? And is there anything that you've run up against with Thryv or other business platforms that could be a concern? Mm-hmm. Or something that Thryv could help with? Maybe Laura, do you have any clients who have compliance concerns like PCI compliance, HIPAA, anything like that?
Yeah, both of those. Yeah. So we are PCI compliant. We do have HIPAA, we are HIPAA compliant. ADA compliance is another one that's available for our websites, for example. Right. And of course, everything is secure. We do 2-factor authentication. All of that is, that's first and foremost, most important, right? That all of your client information is safe and secure, and that your information is safe and secure. So yes, to all of the above.
Great.
And I haven't had any as well. I haven't had any concerns.
No concerns.
Okay. You had said earlier, Tracey, about Thryv starting as the yellow pages. Can you ladies give me a little bit more clarity? Is that real? What? I didn't know that.
That is so real. It's crazy. So I'm literally 53, about to turn 54. And so I started my company when I literally became a single mom at 19. So I'm old school, okay? I started when there was no digital marketing. You wanted it, you had to go get it. You had to go knock on doors, or you definitely couldn't be scared of calling people blind. Cold call. Oh, that word scares everybody. Cold called, on the phone. Well, the way that I built my business in order to reach my community was through what was the old school digital marketing, was the yellow pages, and then also the business pages. We all had them. Well, lo and behold, if you go look up who Thryv is, and you go look at who is this company, that's who they are. This is who basically was the only form of communication, networking, distribution, listing, advertising. We know the yellow page is where you advertise your ad. This is who Thryv is. And for me, that was important because there's everything and anything out there. And again, I'm going to say it, 32 years of me working my butt off. I am not about to go put my name next to something. And as a matter of fact, it's the only thing that I put my name next to. Okay, it's been Thryv. So I needed to know, who are you? So I did the research to go and look all the way back at the beginning, who they were. And when I saw that, I just knew this is the right place. This is a place that I can, really know that when it comes to communication, when it comes to advertising, when it comes to acquiring clients and being seen, because that's what they were, being seen. That's where you went to, the place to go. They're the place to go back then. They're the place to go here. But now they just really branched out into really meeting businesses in a place of not just being seen and found. Hey, they started to care about what's important to a business and why not be the all in all business solution for business, A to Z. And that means not just social media, but digital marketing. They've got a huge division of marketing right now that I literally could tell any of my clients, all of my partners can tell any of them, oh, we do it all here through Thryv. There's nothing you don't need in your business that you can't do here when it comes to those things. And so, yes, that is who Thryv is. And I just was excited, to see that, because that meant I could trust them with my precious business, and all my partners and all my clients, I could trust them. That's what it meant to me. And that's the number one thing that causes people to decide to do business with you. It's not just your reputation, and your service. Do they feel they can trust you? And that was the thing I knew I could do with Thryv.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we have a question from John P. as in Papa. We're going to put your name into the bowl. So far you're 1 for 1. You're probably winning here. So people ask some good questions. John's question is, so John is working with a 10-year-old fitness club, and it's known as one of the best fitness destinations in Southern California. Would Thryv maybe be a good organization for John to introduce to this fitness club?
Okay, Laura, I'm gonna let you go. You tell I'm excited, but I don't want to hog the mic because I can do that. Go ahead, Laura.
I was going to say absolutely yes. When I think of a fitness club, I think of, I want to stay motivated. I want to make sure that this is a brand that I can get behind. I want to make sure there's flexibility in booking classes. All of those things that come to mind when I'm thinking about how I use my own fitness club, our platform can handle. So from branding to social media to scheduling to paying for your membership, all of those things can be done through one platform. So absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
exciting.
All your personal trainers, as well. And plus there's an app. And I say that because I've got several of my clients are personal trainers or health clubs, and they're using that system. The Colonel I told you about, he has a huge personal training studio. And that's how I found out about it, is he signed up for Thryv to be the actual program he was going to use for his whole entire studio. But he does all this work within the community. It's now become the way they do fitness and wellness for their community. So that's how I found Thryv, was through that.
What a perfect question then. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect question. Yeah. I know the customer and they are very discerning. And I think that would actually be a really good introduction. And I know that you mentioned the personal trainers. I know that their personal trainers there are very cared for and loved, and they each have their own business. So it could also be something where each personal trainer then could have their own Thryv.
Exactly
so that
right.
Their clients could also be managed. And then this owner is not only, because her passion isn't just having a fitness club and the customers, her passion is really helping these individuals who are our personal trainers develop their own business and grow their own business. So it's kind of like she's now helping her trainers build and grow their business. And so then it's just like, it's a win-win.
Yep.
We have another organization on, a nonprofit. They are looking to know more and would like to know if you've helped nonprofits, and they're very old school. You mentioned, manual kind of starting out, been around a long time. So it's not like a new startup, but would this be a good fit for an organization like that who they asked to be remaining anonymous? So
okay.
I can't put your name in the bowl, but thank you for your great question.
I love that, Laura. I can go here if you're okay with that.
I'd love to
100%. So the Chamber of Commerce, one of the counties I work with, just handed 800 nonprofits to our organization to get them set up, not only as a business, but as a business. And one of the biggest things we talked about, the Chamber of Commerce with all these nonprofits, is getting them to operate like a business. Okay, sometimes we think nonprofit is not a business because it says not for profit. Well, number one, that's got to change, because nonprofits can be structured like a business. They can make money outside of what they get from the government. Just PS, in case I never see you. Okay, I want you to know that. But it's also important that they're structured. The more structured you are as a business, the more now you move up in levels as a nonprofit, that now you could even get more funding. So something like this system is crucial because it streamlines it. It keeps all your data in one place. You've got all of your reporting you can export. You've got all the people you can serve. Your organizations or communities that you serve can be clients, and everything you do with them, 100%. This is for a nonprofit organization. And it's not only just I believe it's a must, because nonprofits have got to learn how to grow themselves to tap into more money from the government, but they have the ability to be structured right now as a business to start making their own. And this is a way to do it as well, especially getting your cause out there, and letting people know and finding sponsors and donators, 100%.
And I'll add in there too, because Anonymous mentioned old school. I said this is an old school nonprofit. We have 24/7 support. So if you're old school, we got you.
I forgot about that. Go, Laura, high five, because that was one of my ones I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to a bot. I want to talk to somebody.
No, it's never been that way. I love that too, because like I said, my husband and I in his business using Thryv has been, he's not like one to go on the forums and stuff like that. So it's nice to actually just be able to call, talk to your account rep, get things set up. It's very personalized. No, that's huge. Well, great question. Thank you so much for that one. I have another question that just came in from John B, as in Bravo. He says, does working out of a residential location have a negative impact on your Google My Business profile?
Very good question.
Yeah,
I can take that. So when you ask if it has a negative effect, I will say this: when you have a brick and mortar, you show up on a map a lot more easily because you're actually putting your address in there. So I'll say that. Brick and mortar is always best for Google business profiles. However, if you do work from home, like many of us do, right, and you don't want your personal address out there online, you can operate as a service-based or an area-based service. So we can set up your serving area and you can still have an effective presence on a Google business map, on Google's map.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the people that we work with are brand new or small business. And if you do the studies, you'll see that 99% of the businesses that that acquired an EIN or that are launching a business over these last 3 years of COVID are small business. And so, no, it does not, because a lot of them, they don't have the means to go get a building. They are working from home. And I've not had one person as of yet that has not been able to get on Google and do everything. And again, you get to decide if you want that location exposed or not. Matter of fact, the only person I ever had an issue was our own name because it's superhero, and they wanted to make sure we were legit with the superhero. So of course we have that in trademarks, and then before we knew it, they got all that lined up. And so no, that does not. And again, I'm going to say this: Google, wants to hold to the true pretense of that a true business is a brick and mortar. But I'm going to go to the same thing I said earlier. They're realizing they've got to make a paradigm shift, to the fact that the majority of people that now are going to be owning business are at home. The reason why they did that, only because I know people up in Google, is because there were a lot of people that were saying they were a business and they really weren't. They were digital scams, which is why they got really hardcore on that. But as long as your documentations are in order and you're registered with your state and it shows you've got an EIN and you are a legit business, I have yet to have a client that has had an issue. And all the bells and whistles with Thryv or this program or even with Google, you could still be able to take advantage of all those and grow your business.
Yeah.
Good question.
Let's switch over to customer loyalty, because I know Thryv does so many things, and but I know customer loyalty is a big topic right now because it's so easy just to go find a competitor. I was talking to Rob, our chief revenue officer, and he was like, if I go to a Best Buy and they don't have what I want, I just go instantly on Amazon and just buy it from there. Where is the loyalty? How do you make it so that the customer says, oh, you don't have what I need today? Oh, I'll just come back next week. No problem. Like how do you, because that used to be a thing. People used to be really loyal. Where has that gone? Has it vanished, or and how do we bring that back for our organizations? So our patrons, our clients, they feel like, a part of our organization, like they want to support us and they want to see us grow and thrive. How do we cultivate that sort of a relationship?
Mm-hmm. I'll start and just that customer loyalty. I mean, just like you build loyalty with anyone, right? You want to be consistent. You want to be trustworthy. You want to encourage conversation. I mean, these are all things to say like, okay, like how could Sonya, like how could we be loyal friends? Or Tracey, how could we be loyal friends? You'd ask those same things. And people are asking that of businesses, especially, we're in a world where people can express their opinion very easily. You want to encourage that as a business owner, encourage feedback. That builds loyalty. And then of course, keeping your brand consistent, making it very easy to do business with you. I will use an example, and there's a lot of statistics around this too. People want to be able to do business very easily. And even if it's a company that they have worked with time and time again, if this other company offers a similar or same service as this company, but this place has contactless payments, or easy scheduling or those simple things, you're like, maybe I'll check this guy out. Like, I'm loyal to you, but also they're looking pretty good. So as long as you are, if everything is consistent, ease of use, ease of doing business, along with that trust and keeping the conversation consistent.
Yeah. What about you, Tracey? How do you help your clients develop customer loyalty?
Well, one of the things I think the business has to decide what's important to them. Where are they really trying to go? I think you can be the biggest business out there if that's really where you want to go. All you care about is just being the biggest thing out there. Then you could go do that. But I think that if you're really caring about serving, your clients and having a true relationship, then I'm going to say the very first thing that you must do is to do that beyond, not do it well, do it beyond. I still believe in the old school saying, when people truly know how you care, that's when they care about you. Serve your people beyond what other people are serving them. Take a look at your competitors and see how they're serving their people and go beyond that. Don't remove the pulse out of business and put a bot there, meaning let's utilize technology because it allows us to work more efficiently and stay organized and streamlined. But believe it or not, and again, I know I'm kind of diving into maybe what I'm going to cover in the end, but people still want to feel like they matter and that you know who they are, that there is some kind of personal relationship they have with you. So what are ways as you're scaling up in business that you can make sure that everybody is touched or everybody feels significant or everybody feels like the old school, which is still the case, customer client, not just a number, not just anybody. No, you are a client with us, even if we have 50,000 clients. And then the other thing I'm going to tell you that really works to keep your competitors from coming up in your backyard and stealing your stuff, is going to be to make your clients your partners. Find ways to get your clients involved in what you're doing, becoming a part of what you're doing. Okay. Being able to feel like they have like a stakeholder. They're a stakeholder in your company. They have a voice. They're a part of your company, not just a client. They're family. You start to do that. And let me tell you what, they start feeling like they're a part of your company. They ain't going nowhere. This is their company. They just start feeling like you're in a relationship with them, their family. Oh, I'm sorry. Blood is thicker than another company. You've got to have the ability to do that. And I'm going to tell you, and I teach this to a lot of bigwigs, be careful trying to be the biggest and the baddest. You can actually do that and scale to that if you protect this, because now you can work less because your people that your family now with, partnered with, they'll bring the people in. And then protect that culture. Protect that culture. Don't let anything change that. And for a lot of us, we have companies where we're the best at this, but then go figure out how to do that beyond the best, and then figure out how to take your client with you to make them a part of your business. That's how I'm still going to tell you, I could go into technology and all of that. I want to keep it to the basics of what protects the economy so that there is an economy in the future. And the basic ABCs of business, no matter what, is it's about relationships. Maybe we've gotten too far from the relationship. We need to pull it back up closer, and we need to figure out, maybe that's where you invest some dollars, is getting a team. Big companies, they invest dollars to have even employee teams. Well, guess what they do? Taking care of the employees, because all the big wigs can't. Being there with the employees, making sure they're good to go. Having committees with those employees so that people feel they're heard. Then maybe that's where some of your new investment dollars need to go, is investing in those things. But you do that well, watch how the one thing, no matter how great bells and whistles those are, the people will stick with you. That's the one thing that they will not leave. Just telling you, you'll have less chances of losing, business. And business comes and goes, but you won't be losing all your people to it. Your percentage should be less than 10% of what you're losing, if you want to know a business number. So I hope that helped.
No, it's huge, and it's motivating, and it's also kind of comforting, because for me, just helping small businesses out there, a lot of them feel like they just have to take on the world. And it's like, no, do what you do well and do it better than anyone else. You don't do everything well, Right. So, but shift
with the paradigm, shift with the way people want to do business. That has to be there, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So you talked a lot about, both of you did about, making sure you're not automating the wrong thing or putting a bot where there should have been a person. So, we're talking about technology here, but we're talking about people, and what do you automate? What do you leave out of automation? What's a rule of thumb for that? And how should organizations face that question? Laura?
I would say when it comes to things to automate, if you have a new product, a new service, maybe you gave your website a refresh, you can automate that marketing. You can send that out to your current client list. That stuff can be automated. Scheduling can be automated. So if somebody wants to look at your calendar, I mean, similar to how we got this figured out, look at my calendar, let's find a date and time. You can automate that stuff. But what we're doing right now, can you imagine if we were just here is a list of frequently asked questions, you can read them. Yep. And can you imagine that? Yeah. It was a pre-recorded thing, not as fun. You can't ask a question. You can't feel Tracey's passion and enthusiasm. That takes away from this. So the conversation shouldn't be automated. So you can keep that going with a client, and you can use a platform to do that by having a back and forth. But then automate, like I said, the booking piece of it, the estimate piece of it, the scheduling, all of that doesn't need the passion and the feeling. The other stuff, when it comes to your reputation and the conversation, that stuff should all be, manual or live.
Yeah. We have a question from, well, actually, first, Tracey, did you want to add anything to that? We're talking about automation.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I almost had this thought in my head, and I hope it comes out great. If it does, it'll be great. If not, it'll be really messy. But what do you want?
Because you didn't automate it, right? That's why.
What do you want? How do you want to be treated? We got to be careful, because I don't know about you, if I'm at a point where I need crucial help in this moment, this second, and I've got to sit here and send an email and wait for you to respond, or wait later. Think about that. Even when it comes to when we're dealing with cable issues, internet issues, just us in our own lives, trying to, get somebody on the phone when it comes to your utilities, think about how you want it, and what frustrates you. Well, guess what? Yes, you can make it seamless, all automated for those people who want it that way, 100%. But what about the other people? And so I think it's just, think about how you would want it, as well. What your experience has been, and choose to not do that. And then maybe when it comes to a certain point, like if they call it escalating a call, after you've tried to do it this way, and maybe this is the next step, now maybe have some of those pipelines, where you've got the pipeline steps that now all of a sudden, let's get you scheduled. Sounds like you need to speak to somebody. Let's get you scheduled. Click this link. To schedule a call. Don't have your client in the abyss getting frustrated, because normally when people get frustrated today, they're out. They're not going to sit here and work with you. They won't tell you. They'll just go. So just, make sure it's, you have that pulse there, and maybe it's looking at when should that happen? If you're a small staff and can't take all these calls that are coming in, because I understand that may be how you look at it.
Yeah. Quick question from Matt. Well, I don't know how quick of a question, but Matt W, as in whiskey, says he's in Florida. Does Thryv help back up his customer data in case of a local storm or hurricane? Tell me more about what Thryv does. It's new to me. So that's kind of a little plug for Thryv. Maybe can you explain, Laura, what Thryv is, what it does, and does it back up customer data amongst all the other things that it does? So if somebody asks me the elevator pitch for Thryv, I don't know, because it's so big. It used to be a lot of other things. So I used to say it was a branding platform and a social media automation platform. Right. But then now it's more than that. It's all these other things as well. So yeah, take that on, Laura.
Yeah, it's all those things, but it's also a CRM, right? A big part of our platform is customer management. And we have document storage, as well as it doesn't just store documents like we think, save this document, but it saves conversations. So if we were having a back and forth, which you can do via SMS, like text, or through email or message through the platform, that is all stored. And we have up to unlimited storage, depending on what you choose to move forward with. So yes, it does store your client data. It is all backed up in the cloud. That's where we live in, right? So all of that is stored. Your documents are stored. Any conversation you've had with them is all stored, and you can access that through your mobile device or through your laptop or desktop.
Mm-hmm. I want to add real quick, if that's okay, Sonya, and this is just me, as I would tell my clients, allow any program to store all of that. But I'm the type, because I teach business, not just show people how to do business, is always have a backup on your own.
Totally.
To me, we just solve that issue and not put all that weight of responsibility on anything. Yes, have it to back up to a backup, but you need to have a backup. Have that all exported. And the cool thing is you can export information from Thryv. Let's just say that you've operated for a whole month. Once a month, you can go and export that. And it can export literally what you tell it to export, which is pretty awesome. And that is just something that you keep. And I recommend that for any business, any program, anywhere. It's like your computer. You're just relying on your computer to operate every single day and not crash on you one day. You never backed it up. Oh my goodness. I don't want to be you, but I'll hold your hand. Okay. Because I can't imagine that. You want to back up your computer at least once a month. Okay. So that you have that and call it, by month, and the year. So I'm just going to say that so that we don't put all that weight and responsibility on Thryv. Let it be that source where you do business and it's got your back, but you have your back first is really what I'm going to say.
Yes. Good
That's
call.
great. Yeah. So what is a customer that you don't think would be a good fit for a business platform like Thryv? Are there some out there that you've run across that you're like, oh, that's not a good fit? I mean, they're too big. They're a one woman show, or I don't know. What would be somebody that wouldn't be a fit?
We work with so many industries, so there are very few that I would say, there are zero that I would say are 100% a bad fit. Like, don't come to us, we won't be able to help you at all. We can usually help with something, right? But there are certain things that I do recommend you go to somebody who's highly specialized. Like if you have a robust if you have a lot of inventory, go to someone who their thing is inventory management. It can probably plug into our platform. So we do work with integrations and things like that. Or it can plug into your website if you want to house your inventory on your website. But if you have a lot of inventory, go to someone who specializes in that specifically. And then when it comes to service-based businesses, like specifically restaurants is what's coming to mind. We have a card reader that you can do the tap and pay and all that stuff. But if you want to add tips on the go, for a waiter or wait staff, that's something that usually you want to go through someone who specifically works with restaurants, so they can just add a tip and that waiter or waitress gets it directly instead of having to go through a platform. I bartended for years. I would hate to have to rely on the restaurant and then give me here's your tip. I would want that going in my pocket. So things like that. Otherwise, I'll speak to those two things. If you have inventory, we can help you with social and branding and your website and all that good stuff, reputation management. If you're a restaurant, we can do all those things as well. But just those very little niche specific things, you might want to use an integration or go with someone who specializes in that.
Yeah.
And let me add, I found one. So this is interesting. And it's funny because Thryv agreed with me. We were on a demo call and it's with one of my partners. So she was like, oh my God, I'm the last person to get on Thryv. I'm ready. She was ready to go. And we got on the demo call and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is my first one. It's to me an engineer company. An engineering firm, if you understand what all they have to manage and what they're looking for from a CRM, literally me and Kristen looked at her both saying, you need to go find an engineer, because what an engineer needs is something that where you're going to build this house or you're going to build, let's say a community building and you've got all these people involved. They need something that's going to track progress. They need something that's going to plop up and tell you, hey, it's time for this payment. Meaning because the project's only 80%, it tracks the percentage of a project. Software. It's very intricate. That was the first one. And I'm like, ooh, don't come here. Stick with that one over there. And then the only thing I will tell you, and I'm going to agree, with Laura, I know with my clients, anything that's specific, I will have them go and get some other type of platform. Let's take accounting, because accounting is so intricate. There's no way in the world. I want an accounting software that can communicate, with Thryv, but I want a separate accounting place where I have all my businesses, I've got everything with P&Ls and balance sheets and payroll and all that in one place because of the functionality of that, paying my taxes from one place. I could definitely say accounting, would be a platform that I would say you want to have separately, but communicate it here through Thryv with customers or invoices or things like that.
Yeah. Well, great. We just have a few minutes left. This flew by. So I wanted to save the special presentation that we were going to get from you, Tracey. The question that we wanted you to answer are, what are top 5 things right now that businesses need to know to stay ahead of the competition or to stay in the game, however you want to look at it, in 2023? And hopefully you can give us some insight there. Yeah,
I'll go really fast. These are my Clark Kent glasses. I really am a superhero. Don't believe the hype. I really am. And I act like one too, by the way. I really sat here and took some time this morning. So I wanted to really make sure we logged off that I gave not just light stuff, that I gave stuff like if I was your business consultant. I've already said the first one, but I'm going to say it again and just fly through this. You guys, it is crucial right now with what's changed in the market. And if you're not somebody who studies the market, I'm going to tell you, I do. We do. We study on a business level, stocks, market, investments, everything. And boy, do we study the economy when it comes to the marketplace, which is where we're at, okay? And one of the things that really took a hit and shifted, which means it took a hit, not loss, but to some people it is a loss if they don't know this, okay? It's a shift, it pivoted. It's weird. We talked about old school today, but believe it or not, because of what happened to COVID, people really started to look at relationships again. Because relationships became precious, and relationships became important. Their life became important. And they started to value relationships more. Then guess where they are valuing it now? That they're choosing to switch companies is if a company looks like it's not about relationships. If it looks like it doesn't care about you. And that's a big one, okay? Because a lot of companies, guess what? They don't know how to do that, or they stopped doing that. Or they didn't do it at all. That right there, they want a relationship with you. The other thing that I'm going to say, and I put this on the side, a lot of people are looking for ways to build our businesses. Let's work with influencers. Let me just say this real quick. Be careful with that. If you're going to do influencers, go with people that are community influencers, those that are in your backyard. Because remember, we always build their first and build their exponentially first before we ever build in Asia, unless we get a client from Asia who's bringing people in. There's a contract there. And so really make sure you're still using the ABC of a referral, okay, of somebody that you've done business with. Let that person be your influencer. Okay, reward them. Let them go live on social media. Let them be the ones, to sit there and talk about your products and services. The other things is that your consumer now, unless you got them on lockdown because you're great at what you do, or you're a bad booty hairdresser, they ain't going nowhere. They're messing up their hair. They're going to stick with you. Then I'm going to tell you, they're also looking for companies that show that with their success, with their dollars that they're earning, how are you giving back to your community? They are wanting to partner with people that are saying, we support. Why do you see all of the Subaru commercials that you've been seeing here lately of how they give back, to the community, and how they've donated all these dollars? Or you see Amazon talking about how much money they put to feed the hungry. Why do you see all these commercials right now? Is because of what just happened. And people are going to want to feel good that a percentage of their dollars, and they're not just going to want to hear you say it. They're going to want proof is what it shows. They're going to want you to have videos. They're going to want you to have pictures. They're going to want you to have testimonies. Because again, that goes to what I said. Now they become your partner, that their dollars are partnering with you to be about the community, to be about people, those who don't have, to be about making the world a better place. Because boy, do we see that we need some help with that. Okay, and so there's that one as well. The other thing is I'm going to tell you the market is wide open. Do not believe all the things that you're hearing about the economy is crashing. What is happening right now is that the economy took a hit. And whenever you got a hit and you got to go drain it, there's a hole. You got to fill that back up. And things suffer in that moment. You see inflation. But guess what's the thing that takes care of that? New businesses starting. Okay, trade, people now doing business, helps to repair the economy. What's the number one thing that happened in the 3 years? New businesses. Okay, so this is about, we have a solution. It's businesses. But here's the thing. Guess who the new business owners are? Okay, they're like us. They are mom and pops is what they are. They're people who know nothing about business at all. And so with that, people that aren't doing business the way they want it, which is relationships, people that are over there still doing it digital only is the only way I build business. And I can't tell you how many people I tell my clients, if you got employees who say, well, let the digital bring it in, fire them on the spot. Okay, because they're a waste of money. Okay, digital should be something that brings in about 30 to 40% of your business. The rest still today in the business model is 70% should come from your business within, which is who you're doing business with. Well, because this paradigm shift is happening, a lot of people don't know it. But you go look at the big gurus, they know it. They're saying it to you. If you go look, even a Warren Buffett is saying it. And so with that, you guys, this is where the market is wide open, which is where I'm going to tell you, go hard right now. Go harder than you ever in. Get your social media up and going. Start talking to your community, getting involved in your community. Start talking to your customers that you have, touching base with them. Launch a VIP program with your customers. Get them on board with you. Go harder than you ever have before, like you're a brand new business, because it's a big old gap that I'm like this. If there's a gap, I'm going hard because I'm going to get all that. That's me. Okay. And don't listen to everybody else because everybody else is over there. Why do you want to go where everybody else is anyway? I'm sorry. I want to go put my effort towards something that I can clean house with and get there first before other people do. So right now there's been a big, huge shift to this. And those that make the paradigm shift and those that go hard with that are going to be the ones that here in the next year to 2 years, you're going to see that blow up. The last time, I'll say this, the last time we had a market crash was after 9/11. Okay, that is where companies that are billion-dollar companies today started. The WhatsApp started there. Okay, we're talking like literally things that we see. They started, Uber started there. They started birthing it. And who are they today? You know, you literally can go look, who are the companies that started during the last crash that we had? They knew that this means opportunities. If people are shutting down, where's all those people going? Coming to TA's house is where they're going. This is where we got to go hard. Okay, so just block all that out and suit up and go get your market and make them partners with you and be exposing yourself and involved bigger than ever before right now, because you will see that pay dividends real soon, real quick, maybe even in the next 90 days. You'll see it at the end of the year and watch what your 2024. You're working hard right now for next year. You're working hard right now for 2025. So whatever you do this year, if you don't see it in 2024, you got to look at what you did in 2023. This is where you got to go hard right now, you guys. And so that's what I want to say is what that real big shift was and where we have to. And that's why having a program like Thryv is important, because you need those things that need to be automated, that can go unautomated, have to be in place, or you're going to be bogged down like a pipeline or like a, you know, what do you call bottleneck of traffic at 5 o'clock when everybody's getting off and you can't even get where you're going. And by the time you get there, all the food's gone. Okay. And it's just leftovers. And I don't know about you, I don't eat leftovers. That's gross. So that's what I'm going to say, Sonya. So I hope that's what you were looking for, but that really is
that's
it.
Exactly what I was looking for and more. So thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you so much, Ms. Tracey Casey-Arnold. And thank you, Laura Gibbs. We are going to do a really quick drawing and we will be back with another provider next month. So stay tuned to the Technology Source Virtual Roundtable. We do these, bring these thought leaders like these amazing women here today. And we're just so grateful that you come and you hear more about this. So thanks. This is our customer loyalty right here. So we have some that just come back again and again, and just it's great because they just keep buying all these services that we bring them, because they never would have known about this stuff if they didn't have someone like Tracey and Laura here today to talk about it. So it's how else would they know? You know, you go online and you Google and it's like there's a million things. How do you know what to believe? So yeah. Here I am looking at it. I always do that. All right, number one, Number 2, we got John B, as in Bravo. Congratulations for your $50 gift card, a little Valentine from Thryv. And we got Matt W, as in whiskey.
Let's go,
our
whiskey.
2 Valentine's Day winners. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And we are so grateful that you ladies took the time out of your busy day to share this with our audience today. And thank you to our returning and new visitors today who joined us. We hope you'll join us again next month.
Thanks.
Have a great